No. 13. Don't open the door. The front door was wide open, which was unusual for the home's owner. The old woman lived alone in a remote cottage at the end of a long, winding lane. Today's story is particularly chilling, so make sure to stay with us until the very end. She had not been seen or heard from in several days, and her family was getting worried. The officers approached the house and noticed something strange. The front door was wide open, which was unusual because the old woman always kept it locked. It was coming from the attic. They climbed the creaky wooden stairs and opened the trap door. What they found was both shocking and heartbreaking. The attic was empty except for a rocking chair in the corner. The police were unable to find any trace of the old woman, and her family eventually gave up hope of finding her alive. People who drove by the house at night reported seeing the rocking chair moving on its own in the attic. The garden grew wild and the paint on the walls began to peel and flake. They were intrigued by the chair and decided to keep it as a memento of the house has passed. They dismissed it as just some old pipes or settling in the house. But then they heard the sound again. This time it was accompanied by the sound of the rocking chair moving on its own. The couple was terrified and called the police. You see, the new owners had made a terrible mistake. The old rocking chair was not just an old piece of furniture. It was a portal to another dimension, a place where the veil between the living and the dead was at its thinnest. When the old woman had sat in the chair, she had accidentally activated the portal, allowing malevolent spirits to enter our world. These spirits had been trapped in the house since then, waiting for someone to sit in the chair and release them. And now they were free to roam the earth once again. Little did they know that they were about to make a terrible mistake. One day, a young couple decided to buy the house and restore it to its former glory. They were not aware of the strange history of the house and were excited to make it their own. The house was old, and the sounds could have been caused by anything. We also want to thank you for watching the video until the end. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and share it with your friends and family. Your support means everything to us and helps us continue creating videos that we hope you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on our latest uploads. We've got plenty more scary stories and creepy mysteries that are sure to keep you up at night. So turn off the lights, grab a blanket, and get ready for a good scare. Until next time, sleep tight and don't let the bed bugs bite. The couple decided to move out and put the house up for sale. But no one wanted to buy a house with a reputation for being haunted. And so the house remained empty, and the rocking chair continued to rock in the attic. Some even claimed to have heard the sound of footsteps or whispers coming from inside the house. But these were likely just the tricks of their imagination. But the mystery of the rocking chair remained. Some people in the town believed that the old woman had been kidnapped and taken to an unknown location. Others believed that she had simply wandered off and gotten lost. But there was no evidence to support either theory. And when they looked closer, they saw that the chair was rocking by itself. The officers were deeply disturbed by what they had found. The rocking chair seemed to be moving on its own, but there was no one in the attic or anywhere else in the house. Was the old woman playing a trick on them? Or was there something more sinister going on here? Concerned for her safety, the officers cautiously entered the house. A forensic team was called in to examine the house and the rocking chair, but they found no evidence of any foul play. The chair was old and the house was dusty. So it was possible that the rocking was caused by a draft or some other natural phenomenon. Still, the officers couldn't shake off the feeling that something was amiss. If you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an upload. Let's get started. It had taken the police several minutes to locate the house. They knocked on the door. But when no one answered, they used their master key to get inside. The interior of the house was neat and tidy, but there was no sign of the elderly lady. Then they noticed something strange. Every single window in the house was nailed shut from the inside. There were no signs of forced entry, and nothing appeared to be stolen. So where could she have gone? As they searched the house, the police heard a sound that made the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. It was coming from the attic. And when they climbed the creaky wooden stairs and opened the trapdoor, what they found would shock them all. Hello and welcome to our channel, where we bring you the most intriguing and terrifying stories from around the world. On a cold winter morning in a small town in England, 2 police officers were dispatched to an old woman's home. The interior of the house was neat and tidy, suggesting that the elderly lady had not been there for quite some time. As the officers searched the house, they noticed that every window in the house was nailed shut from the inside. This was odd because the old woman had a habit of opening her windows every morning to let in fresh air. Moreover, there were no signs of forced entry or any disturbance in the house, and nothing appeared to be stolen. So where could she have gone? Then they heard a sound that made the hairs on the back of their necks stand up. They decided to call for backup, and soon the house was swarming with police officers. Days turned into weeks, and the case grew colder. And so the case of the missing woman in the haunted rocking chair became a local legend. Years passed, and the house at the end of the lane fell into disrepair. As they were clearing out the attic, they came across the old rocking chair. That night, they heard the sound of footsteps in the attic. But when the officers arrived, they found nothing. Or did it? So if you ever hear the sound of a rocking chair moving on its own, be careful. It could be the last sound you ever hear. Now, we'd like to hear from you. What do you think really happened in this old woman's house? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.